The beloved Simpsons have been on our screens for over 600 episodes. They've lived longer than Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse and Jimi Hendrix, eerily prophesized Donald Trump becoming president, and whatever idea you can think of, chances are The Simpsons did it first. The mark of any good show is a fanbase obsessively searching for answers to the most minuscule of questions. And you can't have been going as long as they have without inspiring some fan theories. What with it being a depressing but true fact, look, there's a scientific graph and everything, that there are now more bad episodes than good, I'm Adam from Whatculture, yes, another one, and let's cheer ourselves up with the 10 craziest fan theories about The Simpsons. Number 10. The Simpsons predicted the Ebola outbreak. Well, this is a cheerful place to start. You may remember a few years ago, the deadly Ebola virus, like many trends from the 1970s, made a comeback and re-emerged in North America. The ensuing panic and search for answers led many fans of America's favourite yellow family, naturally, to the conclusion that Fox and Matt Groening were in on the pandemic 17 years before it occurred. Yeah, look, the list is called Crazy Fan Theories for a reason. Hear me out though. The episode Lisa Sacks from 1997 features a 5-year-old Bart miserable after a rough start at school. He should try being ginger. Marge offers him a book entitled Curious George and the Ebola Virus, which Bart turns down, and when asked if he wants to colour something instead, he points out a drawing of himself, dead and surrounded by corpses. Fans believe this drawing was Bart's vision of a future society destroyed by the Ebola virus. Is there something we're not being told? They cried, donning their tinfoil hat. It can't just be pure chance and coincidence, can it? Yes, it can. Next! Number 9. The Simpsons predicted the Syrian War. Another one for the conspiracy theorists. I'm telling you, man, it's all connected. In 2014, Egyptian TV aired a segment about the Simpsons episode New Kids on the Blech, where Bart and his friends form a boy band, which turned out to be a front to recruit children into the US Navy, and are seen in a controversial music video showing the boys flying fighter jets and attacking hostile Middle Eastern soldiers. One shot even showed a group of soldiers standing by a jeep adorned with a flag that bears a striking resemblance to the flag of the Syrian opposition. This led to the conclusion that The Simpsons not only predicted the Syrian civil war, but that the West may have actually planted the seeds for it. Simpsons executive producer Al Jean's response? Yes, we had the amazing foresight to predict conflict in the Middle East. Number 8. The Simpsons predicted 9/11. A hat-trick of Simpsons predicted it theories and another jolly entry. The opening episode of Season 9, The City of New York vs. Homer Simpson, sees the Simpsons heading to New York City to track down Homer's lost car. Throughout the episode, Homer makes it clear that he hates New York and everyone in it, and the Twin Towers are featured prominently. Homer's car is parked between them after all. But the most blatant example occurs when Lisa holds up the front of a newspaper bearing the number 9 in bold beside the Twin Towers, which of course resemble the number 11, foreshadowing the attacks of 2001, 4 years before they occurred. Right, let's lighten things up a little bit. Number 7. Springfield exists outside of time and space. Ever wondered what state Springfield is in, or why nobody ever seems to age? You've got too much time on your hands. But anyway, this idea, known as the Tesseract theory, suggests that Springfield is actually an isolated town existing outside of the space-time continuum. Ben, do the honours, mate. That is to say that the town and all of its residents are permanently trapped in a floating timeline where everyone stays the same age and the world ages around it. This theory explains why everyone is apparently immortal, except for Maud Flanders and a few others, R.I.P. in peace, and why Springfield is impossible to locate on a map. The Simpsons are actually living in some form of supernatural purgatory where the laws of time and space do not apply. Number 6. O.J. Simpson is related to The Simpsons. Yes, there are people out there, people who are allowed to drive cars and operate heavy machinery, who believe O.J. Simpson is related, however distantly, to our four-fingered friends. No wonder we're lads. To be fair, The Simpsons have already confirmed famous relatives in the real world, with Jessica Simpson apparently being the cousin of Bart, Lisa and Maggie, which I suppose explains a lot. So I suppose it's not entirely out of the question that they could also be related to OJ. The only other piece of evidence that fans can provide is that he has a middle name beginning with J, a trait that Abe, Homer and Bart, of course, all share. As for the other, let's just say, obvious problem with this theory, we did learn that The Simpsons have African-American roots from the Civil War, so maybe, just maybe, OJ is a descendant of Virgil Simpson. Although, I kind of get the feeling he might be missed off the family reunion invite list. Number 5. Barney is Nelson's father. I know, before you go all caps blazing into the comment section, we've already met 2 different incarnations of Nelson's father, but then, given the nature of some of the previously mentioned theories on this list, I'm prepared to believe anything. Barney and Nelson were briefly seen together in Bart's Comet, and since then fans have been convinced that the two are related. Aside from the obvious physical similarities and choice of wardrobe, Nelson pretty much grew up without a father, so there's no guarantee you would actually recognise him if they met. Who's to say that the men we met in Brother from the Same Planet and Sleeping with the Enemy weren't just gentleman callers being entertained, just like your mum does, by Mrs. Muntz? Then factor in Barney's years of alcohol abuse and inability to remember events while drunk, and it's more than feasible that he could have unwittingly fathered a child. Or Nelson could be the result of one of Barney's many, many donations to the Springfield Sperm Bank. Nice. Number 4. The real reason why everyone is yellow. One theory behind why the Simpsons are yellow is because everyone in Springfield is dying of radiation poisoning due to the prolonged exposure to the nuclear power plant. I thought we said this list was going to cheer people up. Come on. Anyhow, it goes on to suggest that The Simpsons is not a cartoon at all, but a documentary about a real-life city of people whose lives have been ruined by this monstrous plant. There's certainly a more interesting theory than Matt Groening simply wanting to annoy the viewers by forcing them to change the colour tones on their TV, but honestly, I prefer Peter Griffin's theory that everyone in Springfield has hepatitis. Number 3. Every Simpson is apparently a genius. We all know that Simpson males are allegedly doomed to fall victim to the dreaded Simpson gene, peak too soon, like your dad, and lose their intelligence during childhood. But what if instead they willingly chose happiness over intelligence? Homer had the crayon reinserted in his brain because he was unhappy being smart. Marge chose love over academic achievement. Bart chose the path of underachievement and is clearly proud of it. Only Lisa has chosen to embrace her intelligence and as a result is clearly the least happy member of the family. And what of Maggie? Well, she's shown signs of intelligence far beyond her years, or should I say year, but we can't say what life she'll choose in the future, although the signs don't exactly point in a positive direction. Why? Because of the next theory. Number 2. Maggie will grow up to be a homicidal sociopath. Much like her Family Guy counterpart Stewie Griffin, Maggie has displayed supreme intelligence, spelling equations with her blocks and the like, and also violent and homicidal tendencies that have many fans convinced that the youngest Simpson may grow up to become a fiendishly intelligent serial killer. Her target? Homer. Over the course of the series, she's knocked him out with a mallet, attempted to stab him with a pencil, shot him with a nail gun, and electrocuted him along with the rest of the family during a therapy session. No one else here seeing some pretty big red flags? Though she has saved Homer's life many times, some of her methods have been as deadly as they have been heroic. Dropping a bloody boulder on Russ Cargill's head at the end of the climax of the Simpsons movie, for example. Could she be constantly saving Homer's life just so she can kill him herself? And we didn't even mention her shooting Mr. Burns. Although, number 1, Marge actually shot Mr. Burns. Not Smithers or Homer or even Maggie. Many fans insist that Marge actually shot Mr. Burns. Why? Because he dared to take Maggie's candy, of course, and that is a surefire way to make Marge go crazier than Homer with no TV and no beer. If that's the why, what about the how? Well, I thought you'd never ask. In Who Shot Mr. Burns Part 1, we see Marge bury Grandpa's gun in the backyard, although the gun has been dug up by the episode's end just in time for it to be used against Burns, so she'd have known where it was. Plus, she was already trained to use a firearm during her career as a cop in the Springfield Connection. She pinned the shooting on Maggie, knowing that no jury would convict a baby, and Burns went along with it as he still has feelings for Marge after the episode Marge Gets a Job. Damn, I'm good! Bake her away, toys. And that's our list. Did we miss any out? Let us know in the comment section below. And of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm Adam Wilborn from Whatculture, and I'll see you soon.
Hello there, you've made it all the way to the end of the video, and as part of my designated 18 hours of community service, I'm here to tell you that we have a number of other channels available for you to subscribe to, as well as other slightly, possibly not related videos for you to watch. So please do one of the things to my left or right, otherwise I have to pick up leaves on the roadside.